Hi, my name is Chris Cardillo, and I'm talking from the Virtual Legal Show today, and we're going to talk about the topic of the iPad for lawyers. Just as a side note, we are live on May 31st, and if you come up here and register, you have a chance to win the new iPad 3. Okay, you can also come down here and sign up for a free newsletter and get more opportunities to win other prizes and other things that we offer. Okay, so again, we're going to have more videos in here if you come into our keynote area, and you'll have an opportunity to see some of the videos that I've created, and some of my sponsors have also created. These are excellent videos, and there's some great information in there. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to go into analyzing what it takes to become efficient on the iPad. Okay, so let's first talk about how do we get data to the iPad. Okay, so one of the products that's offered out there is called Dropbox. Now, Dropbox has several accounts here. There's a free account. You get Dropbox now. It has up to it's really just 2 gigabytes. And then I guess if you give them referrals or whatever, they'll give you up to 18 gigabytes. But basically, it's 2 gigabytes for free, which is not bad. I mean, 2 gigabytes, that has quite a few PDFs to achieve 2 gigabytes. So basically what happens is that this actually puts a little folder icon on your desktop, and as you add documents to that folder is updated across the web. It's synchronized, and any other place that you go to, let's say for your instance to your iPad, you can actually go right up in there and download those documents to your application. And many of the applications on the iPad are Dropbox aware. Okay, and the only drawback I have to say, in with good faith as an IT professional, is that Dropbox has been hacked in the past, and it has some security issues that, of course, they've worked extremely hard to resolve, and so that's something just to keep in mind. So if there's any sensitive data, remember it's going across the internet and it's becoming available, and not just to you sometimes. And although they're working very hard to work out any bugs or kinks in that, you just need to be aware that that is something that is can be a problem. So for that, I'm also talking about ShareFile by Citrix. Now, ShareFile was used to be a separate company, and then Citrix came and bought them. Now, I love Citrix. We're going to talk about a couple other applications by Citrix, but when they came in, they bought ShareFile, which I had been already using. I think it just made that product even more attractive, because Citrix is a solid company with great security and a great history. Now, ShareFile works a little bit differently than Dropbox. So when you come into ShareFile, basically what it is, it's a nice GUI interface on top of a FTP program. So if you've ever used website development tools and done FTPing at all, it's very similar to that. However, it's a much easier way to do it. So basically, it's just drag and drop your documents into the area online, and that creates your file. I've got secretaries using this. I've got paralegals. It's one of the easiest tools to use. It's certainly not something that you would need to get a huge amount of training on, for sure. But in any case, the way this thing works is it is a web-based repository. You can have stringent security placed on individual folders and subfolders and sub-subfolders, and you can actually give these subfolders out to co-counsel, different staff groups that you have, practice areas or practice groups. You can actually give out areas of security to opposing counsel, to co-counsel. You can give opposing counsel the ability to upload their documents directly to a folder. And all of this is available through a browser, and that browser is available on the iPad. So I've used it, I've tested it out, I've used Goodreader and other things to access ShareFile, and it works. So just as easy as dragging and dropping to your desktop or from your desktop to ShareFile, you can use ShareFile to drop it right into your Goodreader. Okay, so it's a great tool. The other thing that you can do with ShareFile is brand it to your law firm's website. So if you have a green website or a blue website or red with your logos and all of that stuff, you can actually brand it to make it look like it's your actual website. And it'll actually come out as yourwebsite.sharefile.com. So whatever your website name is, it'll be yourwebsite.sharefile.com. I happen to love it. I use it. And pricing is based on how much you do use it. So they have two pricing, items in there. One depends on how much space you have consumed, and the other one happens to be about the transfer amount per month, and that's how they charge. So just keep that in mind. We've been using it more and more and more and more. So I think it's a great tool. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is remote access. Okay, we don't have a screen for these two things, but remote access from your iPad to your actual desktop. Okay, so I think that there's actually two tools that you really need to learn about. It's actually three tools, but two of them are, again, by Citrix. Okay, so again, we're talking about Citrix and a couple of tools that they have out there. One is a very inexpensive and easy tool to install. It's called GoToMyPC. And we'll go here real quick. Go to GoToMyPC.com. And GoToMyPC is a little application which runs on your PC. And so what this does is gives you remote access into your PC from anywhere. Okay, and you could be on your iPad, your Apple device, any of your Apple devices. I've even used an iPhone to access it. You can access it using your I believe an Android probably will work on it too. I have not tested that, but certainly from other PCs, doesn't matter whether it's a what version of Windows you're using. It's a fantastic tool. So, but we're talking about iPads here. So, as long as you have the latest software that GoToMyPC came out with over a year ago. So it's like over, I think it's a 7.2 or version higher. It allows you to remotely control your desktop from your iPad or iPhone, right? So the iPad, of course, gives you a lot more display space there. So using the iPad, it even has like right-click capabilities there. So using certain types of touch, two-finger touching, gives you like say the right-click or whatever. So usually when you log right in, you'll be able to see those options, and it'll walk you right through how you can access your desktop and to use those basic functions that you would normally have if you had a mouse or the right-click capability. So All right, so Go to My PC is one of those tools. It's a very easy tool to use. The second tool that I want to talk about is the actual Citrix server. Well, now that's something that goes beyond, the basic user. That's something that you need your systems admin or IT director to install on one of their servers. They can also install Terminal Server 2008, which also works with the iPad. So whether it be Terminal Server or the latest version of the Citrix server, both of those have iPad capabilities. Now, Citrix has gone a couple steps forward or further in adding more integration with the iPad than the Terminal Server has. However, people work just fine off of Terminal Server using the iPad. So Terminal Server is, of course, a little cheaper just because it's one less application to install. Citrix actually runs on top of Terminal Server, so it makes it, it's like another layer, but it's also another piece of software that's installed. So that's something to look at. So those are 3 different apps that allow you to remotely control your business desktops. Okay, so what it allows you to do, so if you have a document management system, if you have a litigation support system, if you have a billing system, if you have your firm's email, let's say your Microsoft Exchange or Outlook, if you have your Microsoft Word, your WordPerfect if you're still using that, even any of the other apps that you might have on your network, you would be able to use any 3 of those apps, whether it be Go to My PC, Citrix, or Terminal Server, to access all of those applications for the most part, as long as they're compatible with those apps. But most of the time I've seen that the majority of apps are compatible with Terminal Server and Citrix. And certainly everything that runs on your PC would be acceptable to Go to My PC. So Go to My PC is just a little app that runs on top of your PC. So as long as your PC runs, Go to My PC will allow you to access those. So I happen to love all 3 of those apps, and it's certainly something that you'll want to have or have people develop for you or install for you if you want to have remote access from your iPad. Okay. The third thing is talking about reading documents natively on your iPad. And so for this, we're going to talk about Goodreader. It's one of the 2 apps that we'll talk about here. Now, Goodreader is it's a very powerful app, and you can see, first of all, it's only a $4.99 app. So in essence, it's a free app for $5. I mean, you got to be kidding. It's something you definitely want to buy, and certainly, it gives you all of these capabilities. You can create notes. You can create highlighted text in different colors. You can create lines and draw. You can actually draw right on the page or type on the page. So you print it with typewriter. So you can type right on there. You can create little drawings and things like that. Now this is like on PDFs that you actually drop into Goodreader. So the first thing, of course, is to use what we talked about before, which was the ShareFile or Dropbox, to drop a couple of those type of files, the PDFs, into your iPad. So first of all, you need to have everything in PDF format. And I'm sure Goodreader has capability there to read other types, or if not already, though they're working on that part of it. So in any case, it just furthers along the ability for you to folder up your PDFs, put them into actual folders, name those folders something that you'll be able to find them with later on. Then you can go in and then view them very easily and nicely, and even make annotations on those things. So I happen to love Goodreader. I haven't used it a whole lot, but for what I have used, it's been it's been basically everything I've needed it to do. Now there's also Readdle. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that, but Readdle, which happens to be another product that a lot of lawyers are using for reading documents on their iPad, and it has basically a lot of the same types of things that you'll see with a Goodreader. And this one I have not used, but it certainly allows you to do pretty much everything that you needed to do as far as taking your PDFs, reading them, and annotating on them. So it's a file manager, just like Goodreader. And as you can kind of sort of see in this little picture here, it looks very much like an Outlook. So you've got different sections over here on the left side, and once you click on one of those sections, you've got more documents over here on the right. So this is Readdle built-in viewer for PDFs, Microsoft Office, and Apple iWorks files. So here it allows you to have the Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents right inside, and view them and organize them right within Readdle. Okay, so again, cost is only $4.99. Not bad. At these kind of prices, it's worthwhile getting them both and trying to see which one you work with. Or which one you prefer to use, right? Again, look here, you have Dropbox, iDisk. These are different ways of getting the documents in. We talked about Dropbox previously. Okay, I have not tested Readdle with the ShareFile. However, I did try Goodreader, and it does work. So it probably would work with Readdle. However, I've not tested that. So next thing we want to talk about is legal research. Okay, so we're going to talk about one of the things that attorneys are going to use the iPad for extensively, and this is researching your documents. Researching your legal case, and trying to find research to support your case, and doing it right from your iPad. And I happen to love Westlaw Next. It's if you have not used Westlaw Next, it's certainly one of those tools that you certainly want to give it a shot. If you have Westlaw.com, you love your Westlaw.com, you're going to absolutely adore Westlaw Next. Westlaw Next is basically kind of the next version, or the next the next technology beyond Westlaw.com. Okay, so Westlaw.com is one of the better search engines for legal research for so many years. Westlaw Next takes that a step further, and basically it takes the Google technology, and if you can see it right here, it's just a single search, and it pulls back all of your research in different sections, or they got jurisdiction, in different ways that you can actually parse through this information. So it's one search with multiple results. Okay, so it's a broader search. It's a keyword-based search, and you can still use your Westlaw search terms. However, it is not a tool that you need to. Okay, it makes it so simple that even a secretary or a paralegal or somebody who's not technical at all, in terms of being a lawyer or having any experience in doing legal research could actually do regular research right from the search term area. So I happen to love it. I think it's something that certainly the future of legal research, making it much easier for people to do research. So if you have Westlaw Next, just download this free app and get started using it on your iPad. Also, if you have LexisNexis, and if you've done Shepardizing in the past, they also have their free app right here, and you can go ahead and download that and try to use that on your iPad. So I haven't used LexisNexis a whole lot in the last couple of years, but in the past I have used it, and Shepardizing is a good product. So it's certainly something, if you already have those applications working at the office, go ahead and give these things a shot. Try them out. They don't cost you anything, so give them a go and get started using it. Here's a third product. This one was recommended out there, and I have not used it a whole lot, but in terms of cost, if you do not have a Westlaw Next or Lexis login, it may be something, the pricing is reasonable to set up Fastcase. So Fastcase, they have a free option, right? And this is for I guess it's probably for a short period of time. But then you also have the national and national premium options here, which are reasonable, only under $1,000 per year. For all your legal research, if you use your iPad quite a lot, $1,000 for a year, worth of research is not bad. So it's something to consider. Fastcase, if you come back into the look and feel, they have developed this very nicely for the iPad, and the results are exceptionally good. So it's certainly something to take a look at. But again, if you're already using Westlaw Next or LexisNexis, give those things a shot, because you've already paid for those applications. Might as well extend the ability. The next thing we want to talk about is Penultimate. Okay, so now you can do a lot of this stuff straight from your Goodreader or your Readdle. However, this one is just basic app. It's only 99 cents. So again, it's something that you probably just want to get it and start using it. So instead of using your legal pad and making doodles and notes and all of that fun stuff, use Penultimate. And so here you can actually make your notes and send it as an image, as an email back to your office. All right, and then you can have your secretary or whoever it is, type that up for you. So it's a fantastic way to get out of the whole keeping your notepad around because you really don't need it anymore. Okay, so you can still draw, you can still use your finger to draw the lines. If you want to get one of those little styluses, you can use that as well. So it's certainly something that I think you're going to use quite a lot. So if you use nothing else for 99 cents, get this app. It's absolutely worth it. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about is the trial pad. And I've actually had the pleasure of meeting the developer on this one when they first launched. There was TrialPad 1.0 at the time, and you may look at the price of it and say, "Wow, $89! Geez, that's a lot for typical apps." So you see, $4.99 and all of that type of thing. So it is not expensive for what this does. Your iPad requires, if you're going to use your iPad in a courtroom or in front of a client, or you're going to present, then you need a tool to do that. And what TrialPad has done is made that very easy for you. So all the typical things that you can do in Readdle and Goodreader are, most of those things are available right here in TrialPad. So you can highlight, you can see in this photo here, you can highlight, you can do pullouts and callouts. You can do, you can use the pen to circle certain texts. But what you can't see in the Goodreader Readdle is that you can also manipulate what appears on the projector screen. Okay, so so you actually need to have that that ability to say, okay, I'm going to show the jury or the client this picture or this call out, but I'm not going to show them what I'm going through, or maybe the whole entire document. So you have that capability or that power to do that when you're using TrialPad. It's a very, very useful presentation tool. So you can create little snaps or snips that you can show, and you can do that ahead of time, or you can do it on the fly. Now, of course, I recommend that you do this prior to your courtroom appearance. However, you never know. You never know if there's something new that comes out. Maybe you'll have all of your PDFs over here in your available area, and then you can click without showing the jury what you're clicking on. You can click open up to the page that you want to do your call out for, highlight what you want, and then create your call out, and then press show, right? I forget exactly what the button is, but there's a show button, and then it'll appear on the screen. Now, the only additional thing that you need besides TrialPad is a little dongle. Now, this little dongle attaches to the bottom of your iPad, and that dongle connects to your the cord that connects to your projector. So if you're familiar with any type of laptop, any type of connection that you would have from a regular laptop to a projector, you use a monitor cable, okay? And that monitor cable allows you to connect your laptop up to the projector. And if you have that that technology, you know what that technology is. The only thing that you'll realize when you have your iPad is that, hey, there's no connector like that. There's no VGA connection, right? So you need to have that little dongle which connects to the bottom of your that's the power cable area. So if you want to charge up you're familiar with charging up your iPad, it connects to that same port, okay? And it turns that port into a VGA connector or connection. So you use that connection and you connect up. So yeah, you cannot charge your iPad at the same time as presenting with your iPad. However, that connection does allow you to make that connection to the projector. So that's what you need to do. You need to get that little dongle. I'm sure you can get one for about $10-15 or thereabouts, and buy this application, $89, and now you have a presentation tool. Again, there's other presentation tools for the iPad. However, this is the best one for lawyers. Okay, having done some courtroom presentations myself in terms of setting those things up. I can, I definitely see that this application was developed by people that have done courtroom presentations, and that is actually their bread and butter. That's what they do. That's what they've done for many, many, many years. That's the developer. The developer actually got together with another firm and actually put this together based on all of their combined experience in trial and all of that. So it's a great tool. It's something that you want to spend the money on. I know it's $89, but it's worth it. Add that to the list of apps that you want to get. And I think for the most part, you're going to spend maybe about $100, maybe $110 with the dongle, to buy all these different apps here, and with the exception of the legal research piece. But for the most part, that's what you need to do to extend the ability of the iPad. You need to extend it by buying some of these apps, these useful apps, and getting to use them or getting to know them a little bit. Give it a shot. Download some of your documents to these apps and try them out. And the more familiar you get with it, the less surprises that you're going to have. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is really, I don't actually have it here on the screen, but one of the things is to make sure that your iPad is up to date with the latest software, the latest stuff. Now, if you haven't hooked up your iPad to the cloud, to the iCloud, that's absolutely a must. You want to do that for a lot of reasons. One, so if you are using tools such as the Goodreader or Readdle, okay, it'll sync up, that you purchased those items, and so it makes it easier to get them back again. Also, if you have any data on your iPad and you happen to lose your iPad, there's a couple of things that you can do. One, you can try to track down your iPad using the iCloud, right? So you can try to locate it, maybe find out that it's in your trunk, or you can do a remote wipe of all the data that's on your iPad. The only problem with that is that if somebody disables the connection to the internet or to the network, they may have access to your data that's on the iPad. So some of these apps, such as the Goodreader, the Readdle, that may contain all of your documents there, they're going to have access to those things. So that kind of makes a better case for things like using GoToMyPC, Terminal Server, or Citrix remotely. So those are there's a drawback to having everything on your iPad. So for security purposes, that's something to consider. So using the iCloud can help with that, but it's certainly not the only way to protect the iPad, and it may not be the best way. So if it's valuable information and it cannot be let out there, make sure that you do what you need to do to secure that. And the last thing I wanted to say is that you want to update your iPad with the latest information from Apple. So if Apple comes out with new releases, you need to update that. Now, I've seen that things like TrialPad depends heavily on the hardware itself. So when we had the TrialPad 1.0, and we had some older version of software, the iPad software on the iPad, and with that, TrialPad was not working as well as it did once we updated. So once we updated the actual iPad itself, the base OS, the iOS software, the TrialPad software worked much better. In fact, any of the bugs that we might have seen with the early version of the iOS on there went away as soon as I had the latest version of the iOS on there. So, and the other good thing I have to say with a lot of these apps is that when TrialPad, we bought it with the 1.0 version. Now it's up to 2 point something, whatever it is now. You get that. That's all included, right? So, you pay the $89, and now, if they come out with 3.0, unless they, don't include that as part of the base package, you're going to get that. So, that's my assumption. But certainly from 1 to 2, it was a free upgrade. So, that's my experience. So, in any case, it's those are my quick tips for the iPad. We're going to do a little bit more in-depth iPad study later on as we focus in on just maybe 1 or 2 of the apps, or we may do a whole slew of those apps and just create those as separate videos. But come back later on and sign up, and I will send you out an email to let you know when the next set of videos are available for you. Okay? Signing off for now, Chris Cardillo. Come visit the website, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.